This is the WAIL Podcast. We're your hosts, Jon Steuber
and McCalla, and this is why you're listening. Welcome to the WAIL Podcast, Beyond the Bio Edition. Today, we're going to get to know, like, and trust Tiffany Trimble with EXP. Tiffany, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. I'm so excited. This is awesome setup we got here.
Absolutely
I like
it. Right. And today is a little special because we have a special guest host, William Mahan with EXP Realty. William, thanks for being here, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So, the Beyond the Bio, what we like to do is kind of get beyond what your bio online says, right? We can only get to know a little bit about you. There's only like 240 characters. So we want to know what's your story, how did you get to where you are, and get to know you a little bit better so we know whether we want to work with you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So real quickly, I just want to kick things off. Just tell me a little bit about who you are right now. Who do you work with? What's your title? Things like that.
So I am a real estate agent. I'm a part of the Mahan Real Estate Group. I work with William. We lead a team of buyers agents together. We do a lot of business. We have a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're leading a team of buyers and sellers and just taking on this crazy market right now.
That's awesome. Now tell me a little bit about how you and William hooked up.
So my best friend, actually, her daughter played on his softball team. And she started doing his marketing, and so she reached out to me. She's like, you have to become a realtor. This is totally you. Like, you have to go sit down and talk to him. Like, this is what you're meant to do. And I was like, girl, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I do not need to go do that. And then I went and met with him, and he kind of showed me the business and, our brokerage model. And I was like, whoa, this is way, way cool. So that's how we started. And then it took me, 6 months to actually take my test. Because I said, I wasn't in a hurry. Like, I was a stay-at-home mom just chilling. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. So tell me, what were your first few months in real estate like?
Well, actually, it went from just having fun to my husband got laid off from his job of 15 years. He was a boss of an oil company. So that was my third week in real estate. I was actually sitting at a luncheon with William when he called and told me that.
Oh, wow.
So we went from real estate being this fun thing to like, whoa, kick it in gear. This is our livelihood now. Yeah. So the first couple months were really intense for us. But I worked with William. He showed me the systems. I remember him saying specifically, as long as you're a part of my team, like, I'll help you. We will get this taken care of. It's all going to be okay. And it was from that day forward. And here we are almost 4 years later now.
4 years later now.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you were doing this on your own, if you were just had your license hung up somewhere and you were thrown out there to do it, I mean, do you think that you would have got the results that you've had?
Absolutely not. That is my number one piece of advice for newer agents is to be a part of a team, because you're going to build an entire business on your own. You have no idea what you're doing. Even when it comes down to the forms you're sending out for people to sign, like your real estate school doesn't teach you anything. It's who you're with that teaches you everything. So 100% you got to join a team.
That's perfect. So what do you think the benefits of your team are?
A lot of benefits. So for me, our current team, so for us, we wanted our EXP model is a little bit different than other brokerages. So obviously we want to attract agents to our team, but the thing for us, our goal in this is to develop agents like I have been developed by William. Okay. So basically we take them in under our wing, teach them how to be solidified agents, and then they go do their thing, and then they start to do what we're doing, which is leading teams, bringing on more agents. So that's kind of our goal with this currently, is just to teach and develop to grow our EXP world, right?
Yeah, and you have a great story with that in terms of your journey to where you're at now. Mm-hmm. So take us through, because this is a great journey. Take us through your journey. We just touched on a little bit from the moment that we sat down, that you got your license. What's your journey up till now? How did that, what does that look like for you?
Well, I just happened to enter one of the craziest markets in history of history, obviously. Y'all know how that's been. Mm-hmm. But my journey was, you literally set me up into a database, what we call a CRM, where you said, hey, here's all these leads, start calling them. And I was like, okay, I'll never forget the first lead I called. I was actually at my husband's office, or the first lead that came in, and they hung up on me. I was like, dang, this is ruthless. But so I did what you told me to, which was stay on top of them, keep calling, do your open houses. And I did it. And that first month I had a contract within 30 days of being an agent, and then it just snowballed into there. And then probably, 5 months into it, you're like, hey, I'm not going to do a team anymore. I kind of just want to focus on my solo business. And there's another agent with us. There's 2 of us, and they're like, y'all are solidified agents. You're killing it. Go do your thing. So then I went to a solo agent by myself for the past 2.5 years. And it's been great. I hit Icon agent, which is something inside EXP that gives you like shares of stock. You actually get your cap back, which means you get money back from the company in the form of stock. So my stock grew like crazy that first couple of years I was here. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I can do this. Like the amount of success I had, I never thought that I would. So the journey has definitely been crazy from the very beginning to, hey, this is going to be fun, little side gig. You know, my kids started school to, wow, this is the bread and butter of our family. And so up till now, we actually just built an awesome home. It's just cool to see that I am a part of that, because I was, like I keep saying, just a stay-at-home mom. And now we built this big, beautiful home next door to our 2 best friends, and we never could have done that without real estate. So that's kind of our journey right now.
So you went from a buyer's agent to a solo agent, successful buyer's agent, successful solo agent, and now you're running a team.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So
now you're running a team, right?
So the important part, so about a year ago, William and I and my husband Todd and his wife Marissa, we met and had dinner, and we're like, hey, we're ready to start a team together. And there's things that William is not good at that I'm good at, and vice versa. So William is like, I love the team aspect, but I want to have someone to help me with that. So I was like, okay, well, I'm good with the people part of it. So we started a team together. We have 3 buyer's agents. It's going great. We just started about 3 months ago with actually having buyer's agents with us, because we just did it by ourselves to get the leads rolling in and get our databases established, and then we hired on 3 agents. So now we're leading a team. I never thought I'd be leading a team at all, and here I am, you know, in 3.5 years into my career, and have a team of people. So it's cool.
It's a great journey.
That's 0 to 100 real quick.
Real quick.
There's people that have been in the business trying to figure it out a lot. And like you mentioned earlier, and I've always said this too, is when you talk about the advice that you would give somebody is joining a team. It's that, you know, what's that deal, William, with the what Kitchens talks about, the 10,000 hours, right? That reduces that to become an expert at something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
so it's like hitting a fast forward button on your career, and you're evidence of that, right?
And it gives you a confidence that where you're a newer agent and you're like, crap, I don't know what that means. And you're like, oh, but I bet William does. So you call him. And even there's times where I was in a bad situation, you know, and I was newer, and he would call and get on the phone with the agent and be like, listen, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this, this, and this. I was like, whoa, like I wouldn't have had that if I was by myself. I would have had to get in touch with my broker, set a time to talk with them. So there really is a lot of reasons to be with a team. And one of them is just having that confidence. We're one of the top real estate teams in the state. And so I can say that I sold William, not myself, when I first started. You know, like his group and what he had done helped me feel more confident in what I was doing.
Yeah, because it's, again, like Kitchens says, it's a who, not how.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is what you utilized. But that's something that I think is a really good point when you're talking about team and why to do it is, I've had people say, well, why would I want to be on a team? I've got a broker. Good luck getting a hold of your broker on demand when you're in the fire and you're in the weeds and you need an answer now.
At 10 p.m. at night.
Yeah, no knock on brokers, but they're not here for you 24 hours a day. They may tell you that when they recruit you, but in this aspect, that's something that I think is huge on the team aspect. And I know William's been there for you, and it's obviously made a big difference in what you do and how you've been successful. So that's huge.
Yeah.
I want to go back real quick because this is a very important transition. You know, when you transition from a solo agent into the team, it was a different transition because you knew that I was there to support. Just like when you became a buyer's agent, I was there for support. I want to talk about the transition from buyer's agent to solo agent. Let's talk about that transition, because we sat down and we had a one-on-one conversation, and I could see it in your eyes, and I saw the fear. I felt the fear. you told me you had fear. Talk about that transition from the moment we sat down and we laid out the plan that, hey, I still got your back. I'm still going to support you. Talk about that transition, because I think that's an important transition when we talk about bringing people on to a team, but then also building them to be solo agents, because that's one of our goals.
Yeah.
That's our mission statement, is to build successful solo agents, right? So talk about that transition.
So, yep, it definitely scared the crap out of me when you were like, hey, it's time. I was like, no, it's not. It's not time yet. But once I got over that initial fear, you made it very clear, like, I am still here to support you. And you did. I mean, we still closed 12 deals or more that year together of leads that he just passed down to me. So we still did business together. You still supported me, but I just took what I knew and ran with it. Like, you taught me how to bring the leads in. You taught me how to stay active on social media. And it just worked. Like, I just believed, because he believed it. So I believed it. You know, something my dad's always said is, do you believe that I believe? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, then take that and run with it. So kind of the same thing. Like, he believed I could do it. And so that put a fire in me. Like, I can do this. And I did it. And it has been great. Like, it was an easier transition than I thought. Yeah. And the goal was to never be a buyer's agent forever, right? Sure. Just like even our agents now, like, we want to develop them to be solo agents. But that transition was scary at first. But then I hit Icon that first year, which we can explain that. But it just happened. I believed it. He believed it. And we still worked together and did a lot together and made it happen.
Yeah. I think that's awesome, because there's a lot of teams that you can go join whatever companies, and if they can keep you on their team forever and ever and ever, they're going to, because it's a financial benefit to them. Sure. Right. So what I think is unique about what you guys do is that you're honestly going to be disappointed in that person if you're still here in 2 or 3 years.
Right.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That means either you failed or I failed or we both failed. Yep. And that's a pretty refreshing take on it if you're somebody who's considering joining a team, because your success is the goal here. Right. And that's pretty cool. And that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, because we have the success. So whether we have a team or not, we're going to be successful. But it's just about growing agents. I think we both thrive on that, getting those new hungry agents in that want to succeed and kind of have seen what we've done. So we want to just kind of rotate them out, like teach them and then go fly and then bring in more people and just kind of keeps it interesting, I think. It keeps it fun starting from the bottom. Yeah.
It keeps it fun. Yeah. And, you know, I know Tiffany and we align in the same as we get more fulfillment of watching other people succeed rather than our own individual success. You know, I think we both align in that. And I think that's what's great about our partnership is we truly want agents to go be as successful, if not more successful than us. Right. Like, we cheer and root on their success more than we do ours. You know, and I think that's a big thing about our team is, hey, go out and kill it. Like, go be successful. You know, there's agents just in my downline, in my revenue share, that say, hey, you know, my goal is I want to do more business than you. Yeah. I'm like, let's figure out a plan how to do it. Let's do it. Let's go do it, because I want to see you do more than me, 100%. Right. You know, and so I think that's what's great about our alignment, and just our alignment in general with the Mahan Real Estate Group and Black Label Producers, is that we have a ton of agents that are all aligned in the same thinking, the same mentality. Is we're all here to help each other. We're all here to root each other on, watch each other grow, you know, and really do it together. And that's the biggest thing, is let's do this thing together. Yeah, that's a rarity, honestly, in this world, especially in the real estate world, being a little bit dog eat dog. You mentioned Black Label Producers. What's that? Yeah, so Black Label Producers it's a group inside of EXP. And so it's really just a branded name that I created for our revenue share downline in EXP. So they're all solo agents, but I still treat it as a team, as a group. It's a culture that we're trying to build. It's a group of support. It's a group of mentorship. It's a support, like a group of growth. You know, just trying to build a good culture, you know, within that. And we support everyone, in that group, and this is outside of the Mahan Real Estate Group, this is outside of the team. Yeah. And so It's designed to develop and grow successful agents in our community through the community of real estate.
That's cool.
And I feel like too it's helpful because with EXP we're a cloud-based brokerage. So as far as like an office front, which we have for Black Label, but prior to this we had one, but not enough to support everyone. So EXP is just kind of a brokerage. You do your own thing, there's not any micromanaging. You don't have to go into the office. So William wanted to create a culture for us to do more things together, like go volunteer, at Thanksgiving to feed homeless and stuff like that, to where it's not as such everyone's so individualized, like we can do stuff together. So his downline, he created Black Label producers so we can all do things together. We have the shirts, we do stuff together, Christmas parties, stuff like that, to where we're all a part of one team basically, but we're all individual. And then the Mahan Group is just our group within that.
That's really that. Being on your own is obviously, like you said, that's the scary part. So it sounds to me like you've got a team and you've got a world of other agents that are all like-minded with the same things that they deal with, the same brokerage. So that all makes sense. So maybe I can even ask both of you. I'll ask you first. So I'm a brand new agent and I'm looking to get into real estate. Why do I pick the Mahan Group?
I think you picked the Mahan Group because we want new agents. We want to develop and help agents succeed, where a lot of brokerages don't want to do that. They do, but to the realm of being an actual buyer agent, the day you come in with us is the day that you're going to learn a database, you're going to see leads, and you can literally start calling leads immediately, getting in touch with people, doing open houses. We always have open houses available. So just I think for us, it's the value add. We add a ton of value to our agents, and we want to grow a bigger team of buyers agents. So we want the new agents that are hungry. And like we keep saying, it's to develop you to grow, to be on your own. So it's not like, oh, I'm joining this team and I got to stay here forever. That's not our goal, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I think for us, we add a ton of value. At least it has for me and everyone we've brought on. We have success. Success is in the numbers. So that right there shows everything to me, I think. So.
Yeah. No, and new agents for us is something that we welcome. And one of the things for me is over the years when I had my team, I found that the new agents that I brought onto my team, they're still standing, they're still successful, they're still running. The agents that I brought in that might have had a year or two or had some experience, they either fizzled out or they didn't work out. And I think a lot of it has to do with habits, right? So for us, we want to create good habits from the very, very, very beginning. We want to build a good, strong foundation with good habits. And if you come in and you're used to doing things a certain way, it's hard to kind of break those habits and then retrain them and learn them. Where if you're a brand new agent coming to us, you don't know anything, right? So you're a sponge. You don't know any other way than what we're telling you to do. And we have a great reputation of success, of leading successful agents. So if you follow our systems and you follow the path that we're setting you down, you have a great chance of being successful. The only thing that's going to stand in someone's way is them, right?
Right.
That's it.
We can't control people. We can show them, but we can't make them drink the water, like everyone says, right? And I think it's cool, too. One thing that I always tell to William, if you look at his back office, it's cool to see the amount of people he's helped make six figures, which it's several agents in their first year or the next year, to hit six figures. So I always tell him, I was like, that's pretty cool that all these new agents came into you, because he has a ton of agents with him, and a lot of them have hit six figures. I was like, you did that. I mean, they did it with their hard work, but like he showed them the ways and the systems to do that, and they took it and ran with it. So that's cool. That's a perfect setup, in my opinion, because I've been in this world for a long time, and I talk with my team here at my mortgage office is you can be the best realtor in the world. You can get 100% on your test. You can know everything about the contract and everything, but if you don't have a client, how successful can you be? And it sounds to me that I guess I'm going back now to what you've said is, if I am new, what I think I'm hearing is that I'm going to, number one is be able to reduce that time frame to being an expert
by getting the guidance of years and years of experience from you guys, and I can start right out the gate with opportunities that you guys are going to create for me. And does that sound right?
We'll have you in front of people, in front of clients ASAP. As soon as we feel confident enough that you can have those conversations, you'll be in front of a client.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, he took me on my first showing. I was like, I don't know how to open this lockbox. Like, what do I do? You know, but that was my first week there. I was showing houses. He's like, hey, this is ready. It's yours. And I was showing houses within that first week. And it's been the same thing for all of our agents that we've had. So.
Yeah, I think that's big time. Anything I've done, anything new, man, if I can have somebody kind of hold my hand and make me not feel as frightened of the entire thing, that's huge. So I see that being a big time benefit.
Yeah. And I like to add to that a little bit too, because you're 100% right. You come to our group, you come to our team, we do have instant opportunities for you. But with that said, our main goal is to teach you how to fish. Our main goal is to teach you out like how to go out and generate business on your own. Because if all we did was just give you opportunity after opportunity after opportunity and never coach and train you and develop you how to go do it on your own, that transition that Tiffany had from buyer's agent to solo agent, she would have never been successful because she would have never known how to do it on her own. So I think, we give you the tools and we give you the systems and we give you the habits and the path. At the end of the day, the goal is to develop you to be a solo agent, develop you how to go do this on your own.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because like you said, teaching you to fish, if I don't want you to, I'm going to give you only so much to make you successful on my team.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right.
big time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all right, so I'm a new agent. All right, I'm signing up. I'm in. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
What else? Tell me, you said earlier something that I was going to correct you on. You said I was just a stay-at-home mom. There's never just a stay-at-home mom. That's a full-time job. So don't sell yourself short on that. It might be harder than real estate, honestly. And doing both, good for you.
When my wife was a stay-at-home mom, she called herself the CEO of our household. So that's what you were. You were the boss. For stay-at-home moms, you are the CEO of the household. But you also, little do a lot of you guys know, you develop great habits. You develop systems. You develop a lot being a stay-at-home mom that you can take and transition into the boss lady work life.
That's right.
Yeah. And I did network marketing from home, and I was successful at that. Took the trips, led the team, so I did do something at home, but it was just more for fun. But you're right. You are so right. It is. I just had one kid, and he was cool as heck, so it was pretty easy for me. But yeah, you're right.
Let me. I just want to get like one layer under the real estate with you personally. Is tell me, and this is kind of a broad question. If it takes a second to answer, I get it. But what is your passion? What is something that you're very passionate about in your day-to-day life? We understand kids and all that, but is there something else that drives you?
Outside of family, obviously, helping people has always been something that I've loved doing. And I always tell William, I'd rather take the $150,000 buyer than I would the $1 million buyer, because I feel like I'm helping someone. I'm helping that single mom that is going through a divorce and can't buy much. So for me, it's all about helping people through this process. It actually makes me like tear up when I think about it, just because all the people that we have helped, like even from a lending standpoint, you see that like just the happiness that comes with helping those people. And that's 100% why I do this.
Can you give us an example of one that sticks out to you, a transaction that just really hit home that made you feel amazing? So many. So actually there's one right now. She bought a house last year. She went through a divorce. It's a foster mom. Yeah. The only income she has is getting paid to foster children. Right. And so we got her a house, and just at closing, she was crying, and she's like, I never thought I could get out of this relationship and go into this by myself. But she's like, we did it. We did it. You helped me get here, because it was very hard. Yeah. We had to get closing costs and everything back in the 2020-21 market, which was really tough. So, but we stayed on course, and we worked really hard. And she's like, just a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, because I can provide for my kids outside of my marriage. And so just ones like that are ones that just kind of like, and you become friends with them. You do. Yeah. I've been invited to their weddings and their home parties, and like it's about the people. That's all it's about. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And that's, to me, I've always said that in the business that we're in, Yeah, you can do well, you can make money, you can, and it's fun to do, but that is something that at the end of a transaction, every single time, you're helping somebody, like you said, be in a home, which is the American dream, right? Yeah. So every single time you start something, it ends with that, as opposed to, you know, any other jobs that we could really be in, because that's the biggest thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
And it's everyone wants to own a home, you know, and I get so emotional. William always tells me that I get too tied up in my transactions. So, because I do, I love it. I love helping the people, and it's cool now to see too, like, because I just went through it since I started real estate. You know, we just built a house, so I went through the lending process for buying, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so stressful. Like, I hadn't done it before I was a realtor, you know. So now I understand. I feel like I understand more of what these people are going through. Like, it is when they're texting like, hey, any updates? Hey, how's it going? Like, I used to kind of be like, everything's fine, it's great, but now I'm like, hey, I get it. It is. I just talked to the lender. I just talked to title. Like, we're on track, you know. So it was just cool to see that side of it, actually going through it. So
when you were starting to do this, what are the things that sold you, not just on William, but on EXP in general?
For me with EXP was the stock, for one. Whenever you're obviously self-employed, you don't have retirement, right? So, and I saw my stock hit this crazy number my first year. I was like, whoa. So that was my first thing was stock. I could invest in this. I saw the patterns of it, and then the revenue share is the main thing, because all brokerages, I mean, your caps are pretty much the same, you're pretty apples to apples on joining a brokerage, right? But this one allowed to have residual income, which I was in direct sales, so like residual income was really important to me. So that's 100% what sold me. I can bring an agent on and my company pays me for what they do, they don't pay me. So it allows you to help people even further because you are being compensated, you know? So that's why for me, revenue share and stock.
Perfect. William, what do you think about that question?
Yeah, so obviously the opportunity to have some type of retirement with our stock is big time. A lot of people say it's fake, but it's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's real. I know people who've built, have down payments on homes and built pools and have done so much.
I've seen bank accounts.
Yeah,
I know it's
mine's real, right?
Yeah.
Revenue share to me is a game changer with EXP. That's what drew me over to EXP from Keller Williams, was the opportunity. I saw an exit strategy with revenue share. I had no exit strategy with Keller Williams.
Right.
Keller Williams was the same exact model almost in terms of 80-20 splits and $16,000 or $21,000 caps and all that. So nothing was going to move me at that time because everything was the same. The one game changer was revenue share. With being a cloud-based brokerage, I think people really underappreciate that or really don't see the value in that until you're actually in it. I think revenue share and people, that's why I created Black Label Producers. People do business with people they like, know, and trust. Right. And I think it's the same in real estate. People choose companies because they either have a friend over there or they know some people or, has a cool culture or they do things together. They feel comfortable with the people, not necessarily the brand or what's on their shirt. And so I think that's the same with that's what we're trying to create with Black Label Producers is don't join EXP, don't join Keller Williams, don't join Remax, join Black Label Producers culture, join our group, come do real estate in life with us. Right. And I think EXP allows us to do that, allows me to do that, allows anyone at EXP to do that. And so it's a game changer to me. It's a game changer.
And it allows you to not be a broker, but lead a really big team and be compensated for it. Whereas normally you'd have to go be a broker and have a brick and mortar overhead and all of that. And that's just, I looked at several different brokerages and talked to several, and this one just made sense. And there's a reason why every realtor's coming to EXP. So the numbers are there.
I definitely see that. I mean, you guys make a great point. The exit strategy.
Yep.
And a lot of folks, when they do this, don't really think about. They think about what can I make right now,
right?
But what is my exit strategy? So that is definitely a big bonus in my mind. If I was looking at a place, that would make sense to me.
Because realtors do well, majority of them, but it's like, what about when you're 50 and you're wanting to sit on the beach somewhere
that's
and you
right.
didn't invest any of that cash that
Yeah.
you made? So
I mean, and stock and revenue share will allow you to do
Yeah.
that, right?
Yep.
You're 50, 60 years old. You have X amount in your stock, 7 figures in your stock account that you can draw from. Now you have, 6-figure revenue stream coming in. I mean, at the end of the day, it's
and
it allows you
I
to
always
do
tell
that.
my new agents, even if it's just like that residual revenue share pays your car payment, and then you get it up to where it pays your mortgage, like, or just your fees in real estate, because there's a ton of fees we pay, you
Sure.
know. So start with that. Like, why did you come here? Make it worth it. Of, hey, I'm going to pay my car payment with that this month, or my mortgage, or build the pool that I've always dreamed
Yeah.
of, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That makes a ton of sense.
Think about this. When people talk about brokerages of being, 90-10, meaning, I only got to pay in, 10%,
Right.
To my brokerage, or 80-20, or, there's only a $5,000 cap, so I only got to pay in $5,000 or $6,000 or $10,000, whatever it is.
Or transaction fee only.
Transaction
place.
fee
Yeah.
only, right?
Right.
You still have to pay in something no matter where you're at. So you're always going to be under the 100%. You're always going to be 90, like the cheapest brokers out there, you're still going to pay in at least 90% of your commissions, right? I am plus 300%, meaning the company pays me to be a part of this company. I don't pay in a dollar to the company. Now, do I pay in my $16,000 cap? 100%. But I get it back because I'm an icon, or I get it back because I went out and attracted 5 agents to the company. Those 5 agents, the income from those 5 agents now pay my $16,000 cap.
Right.
So now by them paying my $16,000 cap back to me, I'm at zero. So I'm at 100%. I haven't paid the company anything. Now any agent above that I bring onto the company, now the company starts paying me to be part of the company, right?
Yeah.
So the company is paying me to help grow the company. So I am plus
big.
300%.
Wow.
So when someone comes to me and says, yeah, that's great, you guys are 80-20 with the $16,000 cap, I'm only, this company's only 90, 90-10, and I only got to pay in $5,000. Okay, well, you're still paying in something.
Right.
I'm plus, right? So there's nothing you can say to me that can move that needle back to under 100%. I'll never go to a company where I'm under 100%, where I have to pay them anything, because I'm with the company that pays me to be a part of this company.
Yeah. The math doesn't lie, right?
Math doesn't lie. Right?
Yeah, man. I know a little bit about EXP.
Yeah.
I've never really heard it explained that way. That makes a ton of sense to me.
100%.
Yeah, and when I say I hit icon that first year, that was, we pay in $16,000 to the company. Well, I got that back in the form of stock. So they literally put $16,000 into my stock. So it's like, thank you. I didn't
Wow.
pay anything to be here. So
Okay, that's pretty cool.
yeah.
That's,
So you
that's
do
amazing.
that 5 years in a row, and the way that our stock is going, now is a great time, obviously, to join us because it's low with everything else in the world right now. But you do that 5-6 years in a row, you'll be sitting pretty nice for retirement.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know of any place that does that. I wish where I worked did that.
Right.
That would be great.
Well,
Hey,
it's-
just get your license and
Yeah.
come join. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We'll talk after.
all other companies, you pay in your cap, and at the end of the year they give you a plaque, right?
Right.
Our company says, hey, if you pay in your cap plus do a few additional things, we'll give you a plaque, but we're also going to do one additional thing. We're going to give you that $16,000 back to you at the end of the year, thanking you for being such a great producer with this company.
And that's also a little bit more than just your 16,000 back, because that 16,000 can go much higher.
100%. Oh yeah.
Stock goes
Yeah.
up 16,000.
Especially right now.
Yeah.
Because it's low.
Yeah. Man, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. If I'm watching this podcast and I'm thinking about doing this and I'm like, man, that sounds cool. What do I do? How do I get a hold of you? What do I do to get that journey started and get that conversation going to see if we're a fit?
Yeah.
405-812-5499. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll
So-
pop that up on the screen.
Yeah,
and John
yeah.
will get that.
So what we normally do is we just meet new agents that want to talk with us for coffee or lunch. Tell them who we are. Obviously, we want it to be a good fit for us and for them. So we do a little interview style to make sure. And we just chat it up.
Yeah, reach out, message us, and then like Tiffany said, we just set up a time to meet, coffee or lunch, and find out. Really, our main goal is to find out their goals. What's your goals?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want out of this? Just to make sure that we align together, because we don't want a revolving door. We want a good, healthy come in and move to solo, move to successful. We don't want a revolving door. So we definitely got to make sure it fits in that we all align. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, we help you step by step, walk you through the process of how to get going.
What if I don't have my license yet and this is just a thought?
We meet with people like that all the time. We actually just did a couple weeks ago with a girl, and she's getting her license now. So we'll tell you where to go, give you all the different schools, and help you through that process, actually. So we'll just guide you to get there.
Man, that's cool. Well, hey, that all sounds good to me. Tiffany, I think we've got to know, like, and trust you. I'm really happy that you were here. I'm glad all the information you gave is amazing. Yeah. William, appreciate you jumping in and
thanks for having me. This was
hosting
fun
with me today. That was awesome.
Thank you, guys. This is awesome.
All right, great. Well, hey, listen, until next time, we'll get all your contact information up, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for listening. If you like what you heard, stay up to date by subscribing and following us on social media. See you again next week.